video recording now.
Excellent. Fro Double G.
No, you say welcome challengers.
right.
I was gonna ask first, if you would. You don't introduce me first. You introduce the show, then introduce me.
I was going to ask if you would like to host this week.
Welcome challengers to Battleground of the Gods, a Smite podcast. I am Fro Double G, and joining me this week we have Dep Nation.
How's it going, everybody?
And we have someone who needs to clarify. Biackeye.
It's just kind of a meme in my community.
It's a meme. We have a meme. Welcome a meme.
There you go. It's just kind of a meme. Most people call me Biackeye or Alex. Some of the newer people to my community call me Blackeye because they just don't know it's an I, so I just accept all three. So
see,
it is what it is.
I thought it was one of those like, yo, Blackeye was taken, so I used an I, right? So I've always just did it. But I mean, I actually just go with Alex most of the time. But I do when I refer to you to other people, I'll be like, yeah, Blackeye. But because I just assumed it was supposed to be an I or a L. You know
what did they call that a while? Elite speak. There we go. Yeah, where you use different letters, but
you've never heard elite speak? It's where like you place
I know
every
the
three.
Concept.
Yeah,
I know the concept. I didn't know it had a name.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's from elite speak, right? From the elitist type people, and then it just turned to elite. Yeah.
Well, but also,
by the way, if anyone hates the fact that you have to include numbers in passwords and shit, type in elite speak. I have always done all my passwords in elite speak. Spot on.
Wait, that's actually kind of big brain. Wait, that's huge brain, actually.
Yeah, my password is just a 3-word thing in elite speak.
A's or the @sign.
A's I use force.
Oh, you use force?
Because the !signs is kind of iffy whether or not you can use those, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, if you need a symbol, though.
You got the O's. If you need a symbol, I'm not going to tell you where I put my symbol, but it is an exclamation point at a certain point.
Yeah.
I need to go through a password overhaul. I've been using the same variations of like 4 different passwords for like 10 years now. I kind of need to.
Sounds like you're very hackable.
I need to download or get one of those password manager things because I kind of just have a document with a name that doesn't make it look like it's my password document.
Gotcha.
This fucking document's named Not My Passwords.
Not my passwords.
All right, whoa. No.
Just kidding. Actually, my passwords, they'll never get it.
It's don't click on this.
Of course, that's the first place they're gonna
click. I would be hesitant to click on a young male's folder named "Don't click on this." Because you're either about to get some secrets, you're about to get some secrets, or you're about to see some shit that you probably didn't want to see.
Right.
Yep. It's either one of two things. I'm not going to elaborate on.
You found my passwords, or you got dick pics. So.
Wasn't thinking dick pics, but you know what? It could be 3 things.
It could be 3 things. Could be 3 things. Yeah. So I forgot I'm hosting, not Dep. Sorry, I'm not used to this. This is why I don't do the hosting shit.
Well, no, you're doing a good job.
I throw it to you guys whenever we have a guest, just because I am not as ingrained in the Smite community, and so you can drive the narrative essentially a lot better than I can.
Yeah, but I just like severe ADHD and forget that I'm doing shit like hosting. Anyways, so do you want to explain a little bit about who you are and what you do there, bud?
I assume you're talking about me and not Dep.
Yes.
Okay,
Dep doesn't do shit. We all know this.
I'm here every week. I forget people say things, repeat them, and drink more than not.
Wait, was I supposed to get a beer?
Oh, we can.
You're more than welcome to.
Yeah, we don't mind.
Well, I'm not the day drinking type, but if I get peer pressure enough, I'll do it. So
right.
Anyway, my name is Blackeye or Biackeye or Alex, whichever you want to talk about. I've been playing Smite since before the Xbox open beta, but then I had to play on a mouse and keyboard. Playing on a mouse and keyboard's cringe, no offense. So I didn't do that. And then it came out, or I stopped playing because I didn't like mouse and keyboard. Personally, it just hurts my hands. It just hurts my hands. Controller feels much nicer to me. I'm weird about it, but so I stopped playing.
I feel that.
So I stopped playing because I didn't want to use mouse and keyboard, but I enjoyed the game. And then it came out on Xbox, and I've pretty much been playing on and off since. Uh, and by on and off, I mean like I would take like some small breaks here and there. But the biggest break I took was in season 6. I took like a 6-month break, didn't touch the game. But I've been pretty not really addicted to it, but I've been playing Smite like 20 plus hours a week ever since.
I think that might be addiction, but
no, because it's only addiction if it gets in the way of other things. I still eat good, eat well. Grammar isn't good. I still eat well. I still exercise. I get 8 hours of sleep every day. Not many people can say that, I feel like, nowadays, that they get 8 hours of sleep.
It's getting in the way of your grammar, though.
It is getting in the way of my
ironically,
grammar.
I have looked a decent amount into addiction. So it actually does depend on the definition of addiction. I do know the one that you're using, and I do think that's a very good one to use. Mainly because I don't really think we need to criticize people and what they like too much until it actually does turn harmful. So
yeah, exactly.
I won't argue with you on it.
Yeah, exactly. But I have grown up and seen addiction, and so that maybe it's not like a trigger thing, but when people say I'm like, oh, I'm addicted to something, I reiterate that it doesn't get in the way of other daily duties I need to do, and it never has. So,
right. But
so yeah, I've been playing. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, we don't need to get a huge philosophical debate, but I was just gonna say, well, that always could always go into the not a harmful addiction, but
yeah, that's okay.
This is coming from someone who also plays just as much Smite from you, right? So,
yep. This is gonna be a fun podcast. I'm gonna enjoy this a lot.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I've pretty much been playing Smite like 20 plus hours a week. A ton of live streaming, and I just recently got back into YouTube. I was an Olympian for 2 years in 2020, 2021. This is like up there with my favorite game of all time, and mainly because I've been just so ingrained in the community. Like, it really frustrates me when people like down talk the community because of a couple bad apples. Like the Smite community really does incredible work, and that's a part of the big reason I love the game. So yeah, as of right now, I just quit my job because I was commuting an hour every single day just to go to work, and then I would commute an hour back as well. Depp,
45. 45.
I do that currently.
Yep. So I did that for a year, and I was like, wow, I have like 4 hours of free time, and 2 of those hours are like doing adult things like exercising and cooking and whatnot. So I quit. I moved back, and in the meantime, until I find another job, I just need something to fill up time. So I'm streaming a lot more and working on YouTube a lot more, and that's just pretty much what I'm doing.
Heck yeah.
Nice. I'm not gonna lie. I knew you had a YouTube, but I completely forgot until you just said it, and I'm like, oh yeah, because I remember you posted, I think it was a Emoja video or something like that, and you put specifically in the Twitter or the tweet about how you hate how they won't do the previews for the YouTube thumbnails or whatever, or something like that.
Emoja. The only Emoja thing I can think of is when I made like an Ellie Goulding meme.
Or maybe it wasn't Emoja, but it was right after that. I remember that one too, the one where it's like she likes Emoja and she's like, wee, and she does the little ring.
That's the one. Yeah, it's the intro to Ellie Goulding where it's like do, and then it goes wee, and it's Emoja going through a 3.
That's perfect.
I love it.
That it was.
I'm not gonna lie, those were some of my favorite. Like they were like a throwback to the Vines, right? The short little.
I love stupid humor.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, I love stupid humor like that. Like in the short ones as well. Like Vine and TikTok have solved it. Like you could see a 15-minute video on YouTube get turned off from it, but I will watch 1,000 7-second videos.
Yep. Dude, I love them.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so again, I forgot I was hosting. So, Depp, we're gonna start off with your games this week.
Oh, we're gonna start off with my games. Well, Fro Double G, I've been hitting the slash Qs, getting about 50%, and nice. I saw the patch notes, and I saw that there's this tier 5 Hades skin, and I will throw my money at that. They can take it. I want it so bad, and so I've started. I gotta hone my Hades because if the guy gets the tier 5 skin, I gotta rep it, but I want to be good, because I want to be the dude that's like guy destroyed us playing that new tier 5 Hades skin, right? And so what the Bancroft's Claw, I think it is, right?
Mm-hmm. That was dumb. I
feels
hate that
feels
item.
beautiful on him.
Yep.
Did some Book of Thoth with Book of the Dead, give him some, more health shield, but he's still just pure damage, right? You throw in a Typhon's Fang. Now, the only problem is you have those 4. Now you've got your starter item that you still need to build, and you don't have any cooldown or pen. Well, you've got like a baby bit of pen with Typhon's Fang.
Oh, you can solve all that easily.
So I think my plan is the cooldown starter that gives the 20%, and then likely a Spear of Deso
or Magus, and that gives you a little bit more lifesteal.
Yeah,
or Magus with the lifesteal, and
either
then
one of those
power
two
from the Typhon's Fang. Yeah,
because Hades could easily rock 20% pen or 20% cooldown and still do very well.
Yeah.
But if you wanted the extra power, I think they're comparable power. But if you wanted the extra cooldown with the passive, so you can be ulting more, which is really impactful on Hades, you could easily go with that. But the passive of Magus,
what I found out is if you can get into using your ult, and the enemy team doesn't realize it until the big circle appears, they're done for. Because it's too late. You're here now. And then I've still got my ability. So I've been going Blink. Not recommended. Never a recommended relic, but I build it. And it's feeling good.
Is bad.
Yeah.
I feel like Blink ulting on Hades is like fine, because then you still have your dash if they dash away.
I think dash,
Blink on Hades is fine. Yeah.
Your passive is on them, so using your 2, it's going to be the fear. Yep, and the slow from the 1 then. And then your 3 is just dropping a stick of dynamite at your feet.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really need cooldown on Hades, especially in like the late game. Well, you don't need to aim for cooldown. Obviously, cooldown's fine, but like if you're going to damage Hades, you're not going to get your full rotation of abilities off like more than twice before you get blown up or get kills.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. It's like I would go through my kit. It's like they'd be at half health, and I'm like, fuck. There's 8 seconds where I don't have shit, and it's like I just had to like dodge autos, and it was not the best. So
I think we should probably clarify a little bit first too. We're non-conquest players for the most part.
Oh, for the most part.
We do play conquest, but
that's
mainly non-conquest.
Here's the thing. A lot of times I'll group up with people and it's whatever mode they're playing.
That's fair.
And so more often than not, it is not conquest. Because I went through a stint of solo queuing, and I wasn't having fun. I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm making these awesome plays, and then it's like I've got 2 guys on my team in Joust, and we're just not. It's like this guy Fenrir ulted underneath our tower when the enemy was over halfway to theirs. And it's like, what are you doing, bud? So
yeah, at least when you're in comms with them, be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, bud?
Right. You can call them out on it, and they're like, oh, hit the wrong button. And it's like, I don't know if that's what happened to this guy, or if like if he's brand new. Like if he's brand new, it's like, oh, like, hey, let's party up. I'll help you out. We'll figure out who you like. I have no problem helping new players. Probably
shouldn't be Fenrir.
But if you don't say anything, there's no way for me to see that you're brand new,
Yeah. And also with solo queuing, it's like if you're with friends and you're shit talking each other, it's like, oh, just having a laugh with some friends. But if you're solo queuing and they're shit talking, it's like, wow, this guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah. This dude's a dick. What's your problem?
So it's like, you don't know whether they're just like joking or if they're like actually being toxic. I haven't solo queued a game outside of stream in months. I do not solo queue Smite. I only queue with friends, or I solo queue when I'm streaming.
Yeah. So it's
I had a moment of, I wasn't toxic, but I was a little upset, right? earlier this week. I forget who the fuck I was even playing. I'll have to check. I think I was on a Bologna, right? But I'm on their Phoenix, or under their Phoenix, tanking it. And my team, I was on Ganesh actually, and my team didn't kill the person that I had silenced the whole time and 3 like right there in front of them, nor did they do any damage to the Phoenix. And I died, and half my team died, and I'm like, really?
Yep.
0 bird damage, and he got away. And then that's all I said. That's all I said. Just like one message, really, and then the next message, 0 bird damage, and he got away. And I was like, all right, I need to stop. If I say anything more, it's going to be toxic. Clearing the minion wave? I don't know. I really have 0. That's where I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Come on.
No,
but
bro, I got a question for you. When you were an Olympian, did you ever get the wow? A Smite Olympian endorsed by Hi-Rez is saying mean things? Did you ever get those comments?
I don't say toxic. That right there is about as toxic as I get. Except for I do have an aggressive, non-toxic stance. So
that's fair.
When someone starts saying toxic stuff, I will usually hop in with the, how about you shut the fuck up and play the game? Right? Or just simply shut the fuck up and play the game.
Yeah.
Or this is one where maybe it is a hint of a little toxicity. If someone who is doing worse than the person they are criticizing, I will simply put their stat line as less than the other person's stat line. And then that is it.
I asked because when I was an Olympian, I got that like every now and then, or like someone was being toxic, tell them to shut the fuck up, and they're like, wow, a Smite Olympian is being toxic. And I'd be like, lick my balls, dude. Shut up. Nothing's gonna happen. You are being 20 times worse than I am. I just told you to shut the fuck up and lick my balls. Both of which are probably fine.
Yeah. I like the balls, maybe. Just see, here's the thing. Saying something once is a lot different from being toxic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, depending on what the thing you said is. But we're generalizing and not going to the extremes here. And there's nothing toxic about telling a toxic person to shut the fuck up.
I agree. But not in their minds. Not in their minds. And that's the annoying part.
Yeah. No. Well, it's the whole I can say whatever to you, but I get offended immediately type mindset. And which a lot of toxic assholes have. It's fucking very weird.
It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating.
They're like I'm pretty sure I talked to AJ about this, or was it Isaiah? It might have been Isaiah. About like, we're allowed to tell these people to shut the fuck up when they're being assholes, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And we're like, going to.
Oh, I didn't even ask. I just like, I'm not gonna break the rules. And if I tell people to shut the fuck up one time, or I'm like slightly passive aggressive every now and then, it's fine. But since I'm an Olympian, I was an Olympian, people hold me to these higher standards. And it's like, oh, he told me to fuck off after I started saying obscenities for 10 minutes straight. What a toxic asshole. I'm like, dude, like, shut up.
Which I do think that anyone in the partnership program, and all the Olympians immediately go to the top tier of the Olympian program or the partnership program, should be held to a higher standard. They should.
Oh, I completely
we really all
for
should.
Sure.
But the thing is, average player, partner program, full partner program, employee. The standards are not that much higher, right? Like, they expect us not to say like crazy outlandish shit. We can still tell you to shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
and we will. Like,
you're
being an asshole, we'll call you an asshole. If you say if you are being a dick, we'll call you a dick because you're being a dick, right?
Yeah, I'll never like initiate something, but if somebody is like being over the top, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, dude, just like one, you aren't doing well, so shut up. And two,
exactly,
you're a dickhead, so also shut up. I have a couple rules in Smite. You can be good and like be kind of an asshole. I don't care. You can be bad and you can shut up. Don't do both. Don't play bad at the game and be an asshole the entire time.
Exactly.
Like, obviously, there's, different standards for, like, how people view toxicity, but, like, if someone's being, like, a little bit toxic, but they're playing well, I don't really care. Because, like, mainly in ranked, Like in ranked, like if you're being a little bit,
that's a whole nother beast.
Yeah, if you're being a little bit of a dick, but
you're
paying,
choosing
playing
to
well.
be there. You open yourself up to it.
But yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you're like if it's in ranked and like someone's being like kind of a dick, but they're playing well, it's like whatever. I'm here to win games and increase MMR. But like if you're like 0-13 and being a dick, it's like, dude, do one or the other.
Pick one.
See,
right,
I know
right.
it's probably an unfair standard to have, but I think in ranked, like you guys were saying, you do. I feel like people themselves allow more, and I kind of feel like it should be allowed more, but not necessarily allowed more as much as narrowed in a little bit, right? So still don't be an asshole, still don't be toxic, but I'm a lot more open to the why the fuck were you over there? You should be over here. Yo, get your dumb ass to fire giant. Stuff like that. That I'm a lot more open to because it's like, well, these people are all here trying to get better, right? Isn't that the whole thing? Get better, climb, grind, trying to get up there.
Well, I think that's one group of ranked people. There's the other group of ranked people that they're a certain level at the game. They want to get to that level, and if you're stopping them from getting to that level, they're gonna just be a horrible person to you.
I feel like those are all the plat
but
players
they're not
feel like
striving to get better. Yeah.
There was a meme I saw that I thought like perfectly encompassed ranked. It was like at one end it was all the bronze and silver players just like, I'm gonna play whatever I want because I want to have fun. And then there's gold through diamond that's like, you aren't playing the meta. What's wrong with you? And then there's masters and GM that's like, I'm gonna play whatever I want
because I'm good.
Play whatever I want to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. So
and it kind of is like that.
Yeah,
but there's something to be said though about the gold, the diamond people that are trying to grind to get better though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, agreed.
No,
again,
it's one of the things where I think I allow. I think it's narrowed in a little bit the toxic, not necessarily toxic, but the
and
maybe
it's not
more
necessarily toxic. And it's not constructive criticism, but it's like
it is criticism.
Keying someone into like, hey, here's what we need to be doing at this point in the game. If you're playing ranked, I feel like this should be common knowledge at this point, right?
Yeah,
you're saying, hey, if you're playing at this level, here's what we need to be doing. Why were you not?
Yeah, but you don't
there's
always
also
know
the group of people. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Yeah. You go ahead. You are definitely more educated and ranked than my dumbass, so feel free to speak over me on this subject.
I was gonna say, but there's like that group of people that like their ego is so high that they quite literally cannot differentiate the difference between toxicity and constructive criticism. So like you saying like, hey, we need to like, why are we going for Gold Fury instead of Fire Giant when their entire team's dead? They're gonna, in their head, that's an attack on their skill. Yeah. So they're just gonna read that as toxicity, which just isn't the case. And also, I wanted to clarify when I said like in ranked, like there's a level of toxicity like I'm okay with. Obviously, toxicity is never okay, ever in any sense. But me personally, it doesn't affect me as much if it's like you're doing halfway decent. So I just wanted to clarify that. Just like toxicity is okay. It's never okay. Me personally, it doesn't affect me as much if you're like actually backing up your shit talking. So
yeah, I can agree with that stance, but it's my queues have just been slashed this week, and I think I'm running about 50%. And ever since I saw that Hades skin, it's been like 75% of my games is Hades. So we're that's gonna be my grind this next week. Just Hades games.
Depths prepping.
Yeah, Fro Double G, how were your games?
I've played so much Smite.
Oh, okay.
I have played just so much. I can't even tell you.
To cue you in, that is our phrase when we haven't been playing a whole bunch of Smite.
Shit for Smite.
Because I'm sitting there like, oh, me too, yeah.
Me too.
Right.
I've clocked in 50 hours this week.
Right.
So we had to borrow the wife's grandma's van to take my family to Chicago. Well, to the train to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
So Grandma came up before that too for other shit. Turns out Grandma hasn't changed her rear brakes.
Ooh.
Ever.
Ever.
Yeah. Oh. Now, Depp, you live in the Northeast as well as I do, so
I was surprised
you understand.
You said Chicago.
Snow.
I commute there for work, so
right. Yeah. They were some rusty motherfuckers, dude.
Oh.
And we found out 2 days before the trip, and we were going to be borrowing the van. So I'm like, well, fuck. And it was like halfway through that day.
Mm-hmm.
My place is not really set up to do that, right? Like I have a angled driveway.
That's tough.
Yeah. And I don't have a jack, like an actual like good sized jack. All we had was the scissor jack, and it's like, or I got a little bottle jack. Yeah, neither are really optimal for a vehicle. And it's fuck me. So I ended up having to go borrow my dad's jack, do a bunch of other stuff, borrow some chucks, wheel chucks, because obviously on the hill, got to be extra safe.
All of this takes away from Smite time.
Yeah, clearly. All this takes away from Smite time. And I also had fucked up my back on Friday. So I'm doing all this with my back super fucked up. It was great.
Nice.
That went into the next day as I had to keep working on the brakes. Yeah, turned into a huge ordeal. Went to Chicago on Tuesday.
If you have a bad back, you can't carry your teammates in Smite. So
you can't.
already
it's not looking good for me. It's really not looking good for me. Yeah, went to Chicago one day. That was great. Had a good time with the family. We went on the little like rickshaw things with the bikes or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
That's fun as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty expensive, but it's like a one-time thing for the family.
Right.
Like, it was like $100 for like 2 miles, but like he took it across the bridge and it was like up along the shoreline and all that shit. And it's like, and we don't want to walk this 2 miles with 2 kids that were already whining about all the walking we did, because we pretty much walked everywhere, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That was the only transportation we took. Oh, I forgot. We took an Uber. We took an Uber to Sheds and then took this bike away from Sheds, right? Back to the pier.
Yep.
It was a fun time. Had a blast. Wednesday.
I've been to
just relaxed. What was that?
I was gonna say I've been to Chicago one time. I don't think I liked it.
It's tough.
Yeah. But it was a while ago, but I remember not liking it.
Well, for Chicago, you almost, for me anyways, I would want to have everything planned in the days that I visit there.
That's
just
fair.
Because it's like I'm an hour into the south side of Chicago. It's an hour and a half into the city proper, which if you figure there and back, it's 3 hours of my day right there. I'm going to want to make it a full fucking day with plans for the entirety if I'm going to. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So you guys, I'm sure you wanted to have everything planned out, which they've got a bunch of stuff. Oh, you didn't?
No.
So Shed, did you do the history museum?
No, we did.
You did the
so
pier.
They have, by the way, a lot of cities have this, a city pass.
It's
pretty good deal, especially if you got a family at all. But we did the city pass for the carousel. His family wanted to do not the carousel, the fucking Ferris wheel.
Okay, yeah.
Then the what was it? The ferry. So we went out and around by the
along the shore,
the shore break, whatever it's called, the wave break by the harbor and all that.
Yeah.
And what else was it? Then the aquarium.
Okay. Do they still have that big sawfish in the freshwater tank?
I don't remember.
Dang.
Yeah.
I went as a kid, and that was like the one.
Was getting towards the end of the day. I had a 7 and 8 year old getting a little whiny. I was getting a little rough. One kid was wanting to touch literally every single fucking pad. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone.
Kids do.
Everyone.
Yep.
Even the one that's are like one's here and one's 5 foot away. They're the same one, so multiple people could use it. She needed to go touch both. Like she had to go find out every time. Meanwhile, the other one's just like, oh, I just want to touch some here and there. But it always has to be the one my sister's at. And it's like,
There's
She's
another.
going slow. Go ahead of her. Like,
Right.
just go ahead of her. Well, I mean, I'm trying to get her to hurry up in the first place. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a huge ordeal, but the kids had a blast. That's what the really important part. But yeah, we did the city pass. Definitely worth it.
Fun.
Yeah, it was a bit of a trek for us because like I said, it's 3 hours there, 3 hours back, and we did it as a day trip. Shit, we left at like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, something like that, and we got home at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah, that's tough, especially walking all day.
I mean, I live on caffeine and exhaustion, so
okay. So what you're saying is you could have played Smite.
I could have played Smite. So in the meantime, I have discovered a little game called Multiversus. Multiversus. It's pretty much so Smash Bros, but with Warner Bros characters.
I saw
multiverse. Yeah.
No, Multiversus. It's Multiversus.
Yep. Sorry. Sorry. Didn't mean to offend you.
No. I just had to clarify because I went 3 days by calling it multiverse, and then someone's like, "Hey, you dumbass, it's Multiversus," and I looked and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so stupid." It is. I really did, dude. After it's the worst part is
the ridicule Pro Double G experience,
dude. Yeah, the worst part is it was the day I decided I'm going to stream it. Right, so I'm like sharing my link and all that, and all the different Discords and the like self promotion channels, and like. Someone pointed out in one of those, they're like, "Yo, that's not the name of the game." And it's like, oh fuck, that's in like 4 different Discords now. I'm an asshole. Great.
Right.
Yeah. See, if that was me, I would just been like, "Well, I'm calling it multiverse anyway." Deal with it.
It's hard not to. It's really hard not to call it multiverse.
It's just it's easier to say, man. It just rolls off the tongue easier. Multiverse, multiverses.
Especially maybe since multiverse is kind of something that's already a bit in the, what is it, the general lexicon, if you will.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. Fucking Marvel, man. They made that word go crazy.
Mm-hmm. So I've been playing a lot of that. I fucking love it. In case y'all didn't know, fighting games are probably like my second favorite genre of games, like out there. I fucking love fighters. Having a blast. I just haven't played Smite. I think I played a little. I'll actually check my history. I did get that pulled up. I did play some yesterday.
There we go.
I played 4 games. God damn it, Backlash. I know you love playing Lancelot now, right?
Oh, is he a Lancelot main now?
Yep. Ever since our last episode where we covered how he's immune to fucking everything and his horse.
Oh my god.
Backlash is like, I'm going to play him before they nerf this, right?
Right.
He's not playing to get nerfed that I know, but Backlash is like, I must do it before he gets nerfed. Anyway, I'm glad you're having fun between their T1 and T2 towers, right? We are fighting at Apophis. Get the fuck over here. I know you're having fun. I know the T2 is pretty cool looking, but that's not where your team is.
Big Snack.
Big Snack.
Now I get it. I get it. He has a horse. He can gallop all over the place fast. That doesn't mean Lancelot split pushes. Right? He's not a split pusher. That's just not his thing. I had 2 matches of that, and I was like, yo, Backlash. I had to get after him a couple times. But here's kind of, we were talking about it earlier with the toxicity thing, right?
Yep.
But the motherfucker was like 7-2, so it's like I bit my tongue for the first 15 minutes because we were snowballing. Right. The snowball is stopping, so now I'm speaking up.
Right.
Like, I'm cool with it when you're 7-2, and then when you become 7-3, and then 7-4, it's like, hold up here, hold up.
Right.
Yeah. It is what it is. And that's why I told him, like, I know y'all are having fun, but we just need you at the fights. Like, and we covered this the other week. When one person from the team is kind of missing, Every once in a while is okay, but from every consistent team fight, eventually your enemies can take advantage of that once they realize. You know what I mean? It is what it is, though.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I didn't do anything particularly well. I was just on Ganesh. That was one of them was the Ganesh.
Oh, that was
game
the Ganesh
about.
game. Yep.
One of them was. I got Ganesh Diamond. I almost have Nox Diamond.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that second one's disgusting.
Yeah, can I be the new host? Dev?
Yeah. Go ahead. Actually,
Okay.
we'll just skip right into your games. Fro clearly doesn't have anything good to say if he's talking about Nox.
So I also
like
have
my
Nox Diamond.
like 20 something. Well, so our other co-host Nev, who's not here, she has a couple stars on Nox, like 3, 4.
Dude,
nothing
I
crazy.
think she has 2 on Nox.
Or 2, yeah, nothing crazy, but a couple, right?
No comment.
She gets fucking blasted for being a Nox main and a Cuckoo main constantly, right? And like dogged on for being a Nox main. And there's something like, and I've talked about it. I've never hit it. I've said it here and there, but like no one's ever picked up on this. I probably have just as many worshippers on Nox as she does.
Well, because here's the thing, Pro Double G, your PlayStation account exists.
Exactly.
And we don't talk about that because
I was already a Diamond Nox on
merge.
PlayStation.
It can't merge, right?
Right.
No cross progression, yeah.
I was already Diamond, right? It is like, I know I'm getting Diamond again. And I was close to a star on her. So it's like, we are pretty comparable. Oh, you mentioned cross progression.
Yeah.
So I have, first off, I am a bit of a dummy, right? That has hope and holds on to that hope that cross progression will happen.
Yeah.
We've had no hint that it will, right?
No.
But I'm still hoping, and I have been. But here is the first little modicum of hope that I have that there maybe someday will come.
I don't think I've heard this, so I'm interested.
Multiversus has cross progression between every single platform.
Okay, so I'm gonna not to kill the mood, but it's a lot easier for a new game to do this because essentially, from what I've been told, actually, I don't think this is, whatever. What I've been told is that like it's a lot easier for a new game to have or to implement cross progression off the rip versus a game that's already been established.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's probably why. But
yeah,
I mean, it's not a bad sign. It's not bad at all.
Right. I was the Olympian when they did cross play. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So like I've heard a lot of that, but this is part of the thing too. It's like it does set a small bit of precedence that like they will do it in some capacity. Right.
Yeah. Exactly. And so it's not a bad thing.
No, yeah, like I said, it's a small modicum of hope because before Sony was no, nothing, never at all.
That's true.
Now at least we have a new game came out with it. And pretty soon maybe we'll get maybe another, and then it'll turn into maybe Fortnite will allow cross progression, and then maybe. So, 2028, maybe I will have my skins from PlayStation. Poseidon, come to me, daddy.
2022.
It's just frustrating because it's not even like Hi-Rez is making a lot of demands. It's just that Sony is making an absolutely absurd amount of restrictions and demands, and Hi-Rez is like, yo, can we just ease on it a little bit and then we'll work. Then we'll work on it. But it's just like so ridiculously restrictive that they'd like have to recode the entire game to make it work. And so obviously that's not worth it. So it's not even like it's not even like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not even like Hi-Rez is like having all these demands. It's like they just want to ease the restrictions a little bit and then come to a compromise. There was a tweet every time someone asked me about that, I used to link a tweet from Stu. It had like 5,000 likes, and it was like he like at PlayStation, it was like, dude, we have like 3 games ready to go. We could hit the go button on cross progression and make it happen right now, and it'll like be beneficial to both of us. And I always link that tweet. He deleted it. I don't know why, but that's the tweet I used to link, where he was just like, dude, like we have all these games ready to go. Just chill out a little
because
bit.
then it makes it seem like Sony's the bad guy. And
because
Sony does
because they don't have 3 games anymore.
I mean, they are, but how dare they be the bad guy in the public eye?
Yeah. I'm hoping I had nothing to do with that, because I would link that tweet a lot. I literally had that tweet bookmarked, because when I was in Olympian, that was like one of the #1 things that I got asked about. So I would always link it. And whenever you like link it in a tweet, not like a DM, it would like pop up as a quote tweet. So I'm hoping that like I wasn't linking it and other Olympians weren't linking it so much that Stu was like, okay, like let's stop with this, and he deleted it. So I'm hoping that's not the case, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, either that or they don't have 3 games anymore.
Fair, true. Actually,
Oh
true.
wait, yeah, they do. They got Rogue.
They do.
They got Rogue. They got Rogue.
Yep.
Hold up.
Oh, yep, new one. I was thinking,
Paladins,
yeah.
Smite.
Yep.
But they brought back the chickens, right?
Hold
Fuck,
up.
fuck.
Yeah, they don't got 3 games anymore because
fuck.
they have 4. Ha!
Yeah, there we go.
Moving on up in the
Got 'em.
world. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. 33% more games.
Yep.
Right.
Well, shit. I mean, are we gonna count DKO? That's not really high res, right? That's the
Nah,
Redbeard?
Redbeard, and it's the same thing that Prophecy did. They just licensed to use a bunch of assets from Hi-Res. So, well, I think, don't quote me on that. I'm fairly certain that's how it worked.
Right.
So,
dude, Smite. We've gone over this before. Smite has such good IP. Like they really.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's insane. Like if I told you you could play.
It's a shame that it's a shame it has to be stuck on a MOBA. Honestly, because MOBA's the one where you can't really explore any of the
the story
to it, right?
Like there's no realm for story with it. Which I mean, the old adventures kind of, but not really even.
They do,
and
a
you
little
can't
in the
really
Odyssey.
pick up a MOBA and just like go, you know?
Oh, absolutely not.
So, yeah, and if it's funny that you mentioned like they have insane IP, because like if I told like a League player that you could play a MOBA where Avatar Aang could fight like Optimus Prime and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they'd be like, "What are you talking about?"
Right.
So,
I saw fucking Goku holding a fucking assault rifle in Fortnite, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Fortnite is a whole nother beast.
That is.
Fortnite's insane.
Anyway.
It's like every month there's something new, and it's just like you'll see Darth Vader Kamehamehaing somebody, and then and then picking up a portal gun, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on, and why am I enjoying this?
But so those are my games this week. What about you, Alex? How are your games?
Casuals have been going great. My win rate has been kind of crazy in the casual scene, but I did lose like 250 MMR in like a couple days of ranked, and so I was like, went from like 3,200 to like 3,250 to like 3,000. It made me really sad.
I mean, that's still impressive.
Yeah, but losing 4 games in a row, regardless of the MMR, is like just. It's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And it's not only that. In some of the games, I just played bad. And nothing tilts me more than when I play bad. I don't, like, teammates control, whatever. I can't help that. But if I go, like, 2-8, and, like, I clearly get diffed, it's, it's so frustrating. That was the main thing. Like, I lost 4 games in a row, but I also played bad in, like, 2 of them. So it's like, okay, I'm just demotivated now. Because I feel like I'm bad at the game now. Because I could have done better and won the game. But unlucky, but casuals have been going well, so I got that going for me.
There we go. I was gonna say, I think I've a couple times that I've played Conquest, it's like I think I'll get like the ADC role or something, and it's like, fuck, this man's hitting all his autos on me, guys. I gotta sit at tower. Oh my
god, I hate
I'm gonna
that.
sit
Dude,
at
that's so
tower.
scary.
I'm gonna be behind in this game. This man's hitting autos. I can't deal with it.
Dude, when you step up level 1 and they hit you with the first 4 autos, and you're like, oh my god, it's an aimbot. Fuck. That hurt. That hurt. Stop it.
Right.
When I play casuals on stream, I pretty much just, unless there's like something I really want to do, I just like ask chat like what gods they want me to play.
Okay.
And so, I mean, obviously dependent on the role. I'm not going to do something like weird. So I've just been playing really whatever chat wants me to play. They always want me to play the gods that I hate, like Scotty and Nox. So like,
tough,
I think every Nox game for the past like 15 games have been channel point redemptions.
Oof.
and it's like if there's a channel point redemption, there's like an 80% chance it's Scotty or Nox because they know I openly hate those gods.
I had a
wait. Start openly hating the gods you like.
That I was about to say, like
strategy.
Like, oh, I hope they don't request Rama. Oh man, I would hate to get my 19th star on that god.
Oh, that's right. You're a Rama main.
Yeah.
One of the people I play with a shit ton's a Rama main as well.
What's his name?
Stoffmeister.
Yeah,
you won't know who he is. He's a nobody. Nobody likes the man.
Oh wow! Wow! My
Jesus.
buddy's a Rama main. Proceeds to throw under bus.
Fuck yeah, Rama player. God damn.
I got
I always pick on him. So what if he ever like it ever hits an ult or misses an ult, right? So just basically whenever he ults, depending on if he does like all three, right? If he hits all three, I'll be like, oh shit, not Marvel's out here. But if he hits all three, or if he misses all three, I'll also do the, oh shit, not Marvel's out here. And yeah, I don't understand why it's so funny, but just calling the man Marvels or just not Marvels whenever he does anything on Rama just cracks me up.
Marvels is literally the reason I play Rama. Before I played Smite, I was a Call of Duty kid. I was one of those sniping nerds, so I loved like quick scoping, trick shotting, undoing like montages and shit. And then when I was playing Smite, someone linked me like a Marvels video, and I was like, holy fuck. Yeah. Like this is exactly what I was doing on Call of Duty, but now in Smite. And so like hitting all three snipes, just dopamine, just insane amount of dopamine. So it's funny you brought up Marvels. So like literally he's like, this is gonna sound like I'm dick riding him because I am, but he's like kind of like one of those like icons where like even if you like don't watch him, you know, like if somebody says like not Marvels, there's like an 80% chance they know what you're talking about, or like, oh, Marvels, you know.
Yeah.
So
he's one of the, I think probably out of all the content creators I know, like if you were to associate with a god or a god with a content creator, I think like he's probably the most predominant one, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe Professor Loki, because it's literally in the name. But yeah, Marvels is up there. Like Marvel's Rama, Professor Loki.
I just wouldn't bring up Professor Loki.
Well, I'm using him as an example. I'm solely as an example, and that's all we're sticking to.
No. Yeah. I got you.
I think there's a Professor Ratatoskr too.
There is. Maybe Hatmaster and Ymir, because that's been a pretty solid one for quite a while.
Hatmaster and Define Pride, Ymir Neja.
That's more of a combo. But Define Pride on the show, maybe. But
yeah, Hatmaster and Hatmaster's brother.
Marvels is Rama, man. Rama is Marvels. That's just how it is, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you're right. Like usually there's like like when you think of a content creator, like maybe a couple gods, like there's a couple gods that are like known for, like 3. There aren't that many where it's like it's one, like specifically one. So like I said, Marvel's Rama. So also I'm very convinced there are like a very select few gods that nobody mains. And I think Hunbats is one of them. I have never seen a Hunbats main in my entire life.
It's because his smash is so goofy.
His too?
I'm convinced that's why.
Yeah. I said I made like a tweet once, and it was like a list of 8 gods that I've never seen somebody main. One of them was Terra. And then 100-star Terra quote tweeted it and was like, oh really?
Oh really?
There's a Terra main in our community. We have a Terra main in our community.
Yep.
We really do. I was so surprised when they're like, I'm gonna pick Terra, and they had stars. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Don't you want to have fun? Pick a god that's fun.
I've seen an X-Ball main within the past year. Had like 20 stars on X-Ball. And other than that, I've never seen an X-Ball main. I've seen a CERN main. But yeah, Hunbats, never. Never seen like guys with, or people with like 10, 20 stars on Hunbats.
Yeah.
Zong Kui too. I've never seen somebody with a ton of stars on Zong, so. But I feel like that's more common.
Zong, I feel like flits in and out of the meta based on items a lot more. So Yeah, I think when the items for him are good, that's when they come out, you know.
Well, yeah, but also it's like I feel like if you're like so hell bent on playing one god, you don't really care about the meta.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, obviously, like if something works better, it's gonna have a surge in popularity. So
Depp, I got a quick question for you.
Yes.
So Alex just told us about a video that was kind of like a, oh my god, this is it type thing. This is what I wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one of those in Smite? Or had one that was like, yo.
I can't say as I can think of one off the top of my head. We might have to write that down, and I might have to come back to you with it.
I definitely have one. And it was from one of my favorite junglers adapting, right? And
Okay.
he
Legend.
yeah. Okay, real quick tangent before I go off on this video. He announced that excuse me. He announced that he is going to be doing they're coming back to the SEC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you did that announcement?
Mm-hmm.
I had sent him a message being like, hey, would like you to come on the podcast, right? Except for, you know how I'm dappling in the Swedish, right? Been working on that. But kind of not so much in the past couple months, but, right? So I'm like, all right, I'll say hello in Swedish, right? My dumbass spelled it wrong. And I'm like, oh no. Now
No!
I look just like a overly stupid American who doesn't even know how to use Google Translate properly. Because I didn't use Google Translate, right? Like, yeah, just hello, how are you? Yeah, except for I put the OA in the wrong spot. I switched the OA and the A. And it's like, oh,
No, dude.
No, dang it. But I know adapting. It was just a typo. I'm dyslexic. I'm not actually dumb American. I'm just slightly dumb American. Yeah, it was unfortunate. Anyways, so there was a video. I forget what the title of the video was exactly of him. And that was like some of his best ofs. But he had, this is when he played a lot of Fenrir. The turn and burns this man would do, right? Like literally, because I was one of them players like under half health, I got a back. Always, right? I got to play it safe, got a back, right? After I had been playing for a little bit, right? First, you obviously get your beginning shitter period, but when you start to quote unquote learn the game, right? Oh, I got to play it safe, don't want to feed. And then I just saw this man in the red get so many kills on Fenrir, just turn around and just fight. And just fight the guy. Like, no, I'm not going to run. Or the classic, I'm going to, like, if I run, I'm going to die. And, like, he'd be saying this and stuff like that, too. And he's like, nah, I'm going to fight. And I was like, to see him pick up kills. Sometimes it'd be a kill or, sometimes it'd be kills. And it's like, yo. Yeah, I need to stop running so much. Yeah, let's fight. This is what it's about right here. And then I started to main Cucullin. So... And then it was season 4 Cucullin too, so it's like, yeah, we're fighting.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's something I struggle with as well. When I get like a third, a fourth HP, I always want to leave. When it's like somebody dumps their whole kit into me and I'm low health, it just like doesn't click in my brain. Like, okay, their whole kit's down for like 10 seconds, I can fight back. It's something I'm like actively working on. It's like just because you're full health, or just because you're low health doesn't mean like you need to run. So I completely get that.
Well, this was like back when I was like super like I have to always play it safe, always never like avoid the risk basically type thing.
Okay, got it. So I'm still in super shitter territory. My bad.
No, well, it's like
I'm kidding.
Because the new players don't even have the mentality of like giving a fuck about the KDA really. Yeah. Or they only look at the KDA but not like the whole grand scheme of it type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It was when you got a little beyond that, right? When it's like, oh no, I need to make sure I'm not feeding. But yeah, it was a game changer for me because it's like you're saying, it's I can fight. Their abilities are down, or the mindset of you're dead anyways. Deal some damage on your way out the door, right?
On the you're dead anyways, I will always catch myself popping Aegis or beads when I
have
like
my god, that's so fucking
Yep. Yeah, you like and then like I'll die and I'll be like, why did I use my relics? I was dead anyway.
Yeah, I'm surrounded by 4 people. I'm in the red. Teammates not even around, not even fucking close. Right. Why did that Aegis still live for 1 more minute or 1 more second? Like,
yeah.
Haha. you had to auto me to death instead of your ability killing me. I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, Fro, I've thought long and hard, and I think I figured out what my video is. And it's a dual video from Rainian playing Ymir.
Rainian, what a guy.
Hey.
What a man. An absolute legend. And it's like it's like the game bent differently for him, and he's like, we're just going in with Ymir. Like that. I'm pretty sure the man said it's like every other game for him is Ymir. It didn't matter what map. Like it's like 50% of his time in the Smite game is spent on Ymir. It was wild. And what is it? I think we were looking at the different Smite God abilities, because we've been doing community corners where we're like, hey, make us what you think the best mage would be if you use only passives to fill the passive slot, only ones to fill the one slot, to et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. And I think Ymir passive was used an extensive amount for our Guardian one. Am I right with this, Fro?
Oh yeah, Ymir passive.
Just because it's like the more you read into it, that ability, which is a passive, is so bloated. It's so bloated. It's like mitigations, damage reductions, damage boost for Ymir.
Wait, does it actually give all that? I thought it was just damage.
No. Ymir's passive gives a shit ton. It's
are you
damage
serious?
bonus and mitigation. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Pull up, the
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, this passive is busted.
Right.
Wait.
If you look at it as standalone, it's like, god damn, what doesn't it give?
Right.
So yeah, like Depp was saying,
enemies deal less damage. He gains mitigations against that opponent, and he gains 200% or an additional 100% damage on autos. Right?
The wiki's wrong.
Someone needs
to get on the. It said in the description it says 15% less damage, but then in the little bullet points it says 10%. I kind of want to get on.
I was going to say I normally go on to Smite Game.
Yeah,
because I feel like that that should be a reputable source for the.
It should be.
It should be a reputable source.
Yeah, so boy, I've seen Flare Boot and Tempe enough to know that you can't always.
Ymir's abilities apply Frostbite. His basic attacks against targets do 100% more damage. Enemies affected by Frostbite deal 10% less damage. And it decreases damage taken by 10%.
Yeah, I think that's the part that's the part where we were like, hold up, that's bloated. Because it decreases the amount that they do.
It's a 20% swing.
Well, hold up. It's a 10% swing to everyone, right? Because their output in general is reduced by 10. And then 20% swing towards Ymir himself, because not only are they reduced by 10%, I guess it's not 20% because how math works.
Well,
because
but it would be more than 20.
I don't know. I'm not a math
teacher.
Because
they're dealing 10%
less.
Let
us know.
And then that's 10%ed.
I'm getting on Smite right now. That is insane. I thought it was literally just the double auto damage and then the slow.
No.
Well, okay, the slow. Okay, all of his abilities slow except for the wall. So
yeah. The slow is built into the rest of his kit, but.
So like Depp was saying, we had a segment we call our community corner. We just ask our community to do things. And one of it was like, we would pick a class and then you'd have to fill the abilities with different ones. That has really allowed us to go through and look at the different classes at what abilities themselves are a little over bloated. Like Odin's ult. That's another one that came up. It's like, you know how much shit Odin's ult gives you?
Yeah, it's the anti-heal, the additional power if you get a kill inside of it, and then what else was there for Odin ult? I'm trying to think, but that was
his passive. One of the two. It's like Odin gets so much free shit.
Yeah,
like so much, ridiculous.
Well, and then especially if you can find items that are relatively in meta that synergize with any part of the god's kit.
It really makes you kind of think about like, hey, anytime damage mitigation comes into play, like, Ymir always kind of creeps in, never crazy, but he's always just in the background, you know.
Yeah, the anti-heal, it deals damage if they leap out early. It's a 25% slow, lasts for 5 seconds, and then you have the possibility of 50 additional power if you get 10 kills inside it.
I'm still blown away by the Ymir thing.
It doesn't even have to be kills. It has to be assists or just deaths within the cage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah. I can't believe I didn't know about Ymir. I'm still upset. I have 5,000 hours on this game. I'm just now learning.
This is why a jungle Ymir that's good is scary.
Well, then you got other abilities too. Like, fuck, I always forgot that Baron one reduces your power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Or
like just little things like that is kind of little reminders. It's like, oh fuck, that's got a lot to it actually.
Yeah, the Cthulhu one playing into his passive, giving up to 30% mitigation.
Was that with his passive fully stacked with the the 1 or whatever? Yeah.
Well, so it's like it has to consume a stack, so you have to have your passive up on the person and then use your 1 on them. I'm pretty sure to gain like an additional.
Yeah, but didn't we argue that wasn't bloated because nobody fucking gets Cthulhu passive?
Well, and that's the thing. So it's like make it a point to do it. You know, like you're playing Cthulhu right if you're doing it.
That's an achievement, by the way, to fully set Cthulhu passive. It's so hard. One of my friends got it literally the other day, and it was because of a 48-minute conquest game. So,
yeah, that's not an easy one. That and apparently the tier get 15 kills with his ult.
That's tough.
I want to make a YouTube series.
Bugged. Where
wait, what do you mean it used to be bugged?
Apparently, it used to be bugged, where you just had to deal damage to them and then them die in the fight, right? You didn't actually have to be the last hit. Because I have the achievement on my PlayStation. A lot of people have that achievement. I doubt many people got 15 kills with his ult in one match. Right? Mm-hmm. So, again, I'm not sure. This is just something I heard that it used to be bugged and apparently got fixed sometime. I don't know.
That achievement's just dumb. Whoever wrote that is like, you are not 100%ing this game.
Right. It's like, and we've introduced hard mode.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, unless you like boost for it, but that's just cringe. So
yeah. Smite Game Plus.
Yep. Pain.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. I can't forget, what were some honorable mentions of abilities from
didn't we just
from the other classes, bro? Well, no, Guardians and Warriors, but we're doing Hunters now, and we did Assassins already. Oh, I think Thanatos and Camazotz were used quite a bit.
No, they were used a lot, but none of them we were really like, hey, super bloated ability.
Yeah. Well,
because with the assassins, people were actually like building proper assassins.
Yeah.
Whereas like the warrior I made, like just got a shit ton of free stats and had, if I remember correctly, had a bunch of free stats, and he was more of a bruiser guy, right? Like that's what people were making for those. But yeah, the Ymir one was the big one where it's like, yo, like our community was talking about it, like this is a fucking busted ass ability.
Yep.
So, and the fact that you could cancel his walls now, man, it's insane.
So good.
People were so upset by that change, or some people were so upset by that change.
I mean, it felt bad if you didn't land the wall and then you're stuck there for 6 fucking seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they just get away for free.
Yeah, but then the counter argument was it takes away some skill gap, or it takes away like the skill of you. Like you aren't punished for fucking up.
Yeah.
Well, you are in the sense where like you don't have your wall anymore, but like that's not really a punishment. That's more of like you fucked up. So yeah, I remember when that change happened. Some people were fucking pissed.
They could have given it
lasts so long that like you
people
could
are
get
upgrading the
punished
wall
for
now.
using
Like
it.
first.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you used to be able to. You could get punished for using it properly. Like you used it properly, walled the person off. You guys got the kill, and you got to wait 3 more seconds for this wall to go out the way so you can go where you need to go. Right? Like let's say they were heading the direction you were heading. Like they used to.
Yeah.
It was just frustrating in times. I like the change.
Yeah.
But
there was a.
I do got to get us back on track here.
Oh yes, our host.
Just because we
Fair.
do
Our host duties. Bro.
Yeah, I also just remembered why I don't host is because I can't pull up Discord on my PC when I'm recording a video. Remember?
Upsetty. Yep.
Yeah. So got it on the phone though. Got the show notes back up. We have a new goddess to talk about and some patch notes.
Yeah.
So Ishtar Mommy.
Mommy.
Right. Yep. Although maybe I shouldn't be saying that. It might be a little too much about the male gaze. So
Not gonna elaborate.
inside joke. I don't know shit about her. I didn't watch patch notes this week. Y'all heard my week. So much Smite, super busy. So why don't you two go ahead and explain this person to me? I know she's got changing autos.
Yeah, so it's her one's a stem, and you can choose between 3 different modes. And one's an AoE cone, the main auto in the middle, and then like smaller damage on the sides. She's got a lob shot, turning it into Sylvanas autos, essentially. But it can go through walls. Intentionally goes through walls. And then I forget what the third one was.
Hachiman one.
How longer...
Yes.
Longer range and faster projectile speed too.
I did hear that one. People bitching that it's like cool. They got Hachi one on steroids.
Yep. Well, it's worse than Hachi one. Hachi one deal. Okay, that part of her kit is worse because it does less damage, whereas Hachiman's does more. But yeah, that was the first thing I said. I was like, the literal first thing I said when I saw that ability, I was like, okay, they took Hachiman's one, but just made it into a third of a normal ability. So I think Hachiman's one is the worst ability in the entire, like the worst base ability in the entire Smite game.
You are not the only person to say that. Blaze McBain, you just gained yourself a follower through that man. Like Blaze, he 100% agrees. He brings that up. He's brought that up a few times. How it's like one of the worst abilities in the game.
Yeah, it's so bad, but. Hunbat's 2 is also up there, but now that's knock up immune, knockback immune, it's a little bit better. But yeah. Also, Mr. Fro, if you need a quick recap, specifically in under 12 minutes of the entire patch notes, I know of a YouTuber that just uploaded a video about that. So if you're interested, hit me up. I'll let you know.
Honestly, that's 12 minutes of this episode we get back.
Yeah,
shameless promotion.
Hell yeah.
Put the link in chat. I'll put it in the description, but
yeah.
Hell yeah. I'll get that when we're done. I'll just do that after the show, so we're not wasting time. But
perfect.
Yeah, so that was her first ability, and then her second one, it's like, I'm trying to think of it. You know how like Yamoja one, the stun one, it like goes side to side, then caves in at the middle? It's like that, but vertical, and then it goes like forward or backwards.
Or backwards, yeah. So it doesn't converge. It's concentric rings, either going forwards or back. And if you hit 2, it's a mez.
Yep. If you hit 2 on the same target, it's a mesmerize for, I want to say 1 second.
0.75.
Oh, that's odd, but
doesn't look like it scales either.
Okay, well, less CC is better for hunters, in my opinion. So,
well, especially with the CC
0.75 mez. If they got any sort of DR on them, that's pretty much so like half.
Well, you can cancel. Well, yeah, but you can. It's still good to like cancel abilities with and such.
Right. Yeah, cancel abilities. Kind of lock them down, stutter step them for a bit.
Yeah, and then her third ability is just a dash. But if you hit somebody, it like locks them in place for a split second, and then you like backflip off them and hit them with an auto.
Yeah, so it's an AoE auto when you hit an enemy god.
Oh, it is AoE. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and it's a 1 second root.
So let me get this correctly. You dash at someone a la Hachiman style. Backflip off them kind of like Circuit.
More like Chiron.
It's almost like Agni Dash.
It's really slow though. it's kind of slow. It's that's why I compared it to Chiron, because it's like kind of slow. You aren't like quick like Nem or Hachi, but it's similar. I'd say it's similar. It's a little bit longer than Hachi Dash.
Well, I said Hachi because you said it locks them in place, and Hachi, if you get them, it like stuns them, right?
Well,
then you backflip
like
off them like Neath.
Yeah,
like
and it is
style.
it's a set distance backflip.
Yeah, we're talking like a short little circuit hop off, or like a Neath flip off.
Like a Neath flip, but like with
half a
pizzazz. It's like it's pizzazz.
It's flair
So
because
in between,
the auto happens when she's at the peak of the jump. Yeah.
And then that comes down with a cleave auto. Is it just a standard auto?
No, like AoE automatic auto built into the ability.
And it can crit.
Yeah,
okay, so I'm curious. Is it coded in auto? Is basically what I'm. All right, so then
this shot may crit and trigger basic attack item effects.
All right. So then on top of that they throw out a Heimdallr AoE auto.
Pretty much.
It's not. No, it's like a circle. It's almost like Sash, Neja Sash. Think of it that way. He hits the sash. He travels to him. There's an AoE area around where the god was hit.
I thought Neja Sash was single damage.
No, it's AoE.
Are you?
I'm fairly certain today. I'm fairly certain it's an AoE.
I'm going to be so upset if I'm
Neja. I'm going to be very upset if this is AoE on Neja.
Hitting the first enemy god. Oh wow! It is. Jesus Christ!
Are you fucking kidding me? It is.
Hell yeah!
Really?
I did not.
Wow.
We out here learning, folks.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Now, I'd also like to real quickly take this moment when people are like, how can you learn from this guy? He's such a shitter. He's only a silver level player. Alex is a masters level player, legitimately ranked masters. And there's two things he's learned today from us bronzies. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
You never know, man.
Okay, so looking at the jolt here. Arrow damage is 20 scaling to 60 plus 110% of your physical basic attack power. So people are going to be building hydras with this god. Just flat out. Like I feel like if you don't, that's foolish.
Maybe in a jungle build.
Jungle, yeah. I'm just thinking though, if it can crit, was it Deathbringer and hydras?
Yeah, if it procs,
like you
if
dash
it procs
on
hydras, is it confirmed if it procs hydras that
the shot can crit and trigger basic attack item effects?
Okay, so I'm assuming it'd work. Well, I'm wondering if you get the hydras proc after
you land.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know how that works. Does it go on cooldown right away or?
Yeah, I just don't know.
I'd have to physically see the ability to see would that even really matter, because it sounds like you're not far from them anyway, so you should be in auto range, right?
I can grab it and share my screen real quick if you want.
Yeah, it won't affect the video.
Yeah,
I mean it will. It'll pop us up, but it won't like.
All right, I got you. I'm gonna pull up a YouTube video.
And so then,
so this is going to be horrible, like audio content. So we'll do our best. To
excellent video content. So if you're questioning what's happening, go over to the Battleground of the Gods YouTube channel and give it a watch.
And we're back to having our wonderful, wonderful thumbnails, thanks to Sadons.
All right, can you see this?
Yep.
Okay, this is from a very good YouTuber. Anyway, but yeah, this is her 3. So
ability is
it hits that and then backflips off and like does that.
Okay. Oh wow, so you could easily get an auto right after that anyways.
All right, waiting for this to go down. So yeah, just dash, hit him, backflip off, and then does like auto damage.
Enemies in the path, and if she hits a god, she stops.
I'm gonna have to. Okay, so it's a little longer than a Hachi dash, like distance wise, but it very, very much so looks kind of like that. I'm gonna stick with it. So, to describe it like visually, it does look like a little bit longer of a Hachi dash, right? Not with the circle at the end.
Yep.
With a half a Neath backflip, and then they do shoot the auto in the air, like they were saying.
Yep.
It's when they're making it sound like the AoE auto is like a cleave of some sort. It's just a tiny little AoE.
It's a circle. Yeah.
Yep. I don't. Yeah.
Which is where I was kind of going with the whole Neja thing. of it being, as the circle.
It's kind of, it's more like when they
it's
say
the circle
AoE,
surrounding the god.
It's almost looks visually like, yes, they are shooting the arrow, but it's kind of like a Morgan Le Fay 3 being thrown at a person midair. You know what I mean? Like visually for like targeters on the ground and everything.
Oh, like the end circle is what you're talking about?
Yep.
Yeah. Or an Asia 3.
Yeah, except fuck off.
I'm so mad I didn't know that.
That's so crazy. There's so many times I should have been like, yo, I can go in. I'll go. They're surrounded by people. It's perfect time. Watch this sash damage.
Yeah.
You might also bait yourself with that thought process, though.
You are.
You're going to 3 people, they're just dead.
You're going to have Neja confidence now.
Yeah. And then
her ultimate, right?
Do you want to do it?
Oh, go for it. You're more learned than I am.
Hell yeah. So her ult, she shoots out like 5 swords like in a cone in front of her, and if it hits them, it cripples, and then you can recall it whenever you want within a certain amount of time, and if the swords hit them again, then it stuns them and does more damage.
And the swords, after going out, return to wherever you are. So think like Pele one.
So they stay where they're at.
They stay where they're at.
Yeah, and then you can move around and change it. And something people figured out is if you ult somebody and then 3 or dash at them and then recall the second you hit them, they get hit by all 5 swords because they're rooted in place.
That's
so you can
great.
so you can like ult somebody, dash, and then secure all 5 of the sword hits.
Swords. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or max
It's little
damage.
things like that I really do love in Smite. Like, honestly, those are the little
kid
things
synergy.
Those are the cherry on top when it comes to certain gods, right?
I'm trying to see who tweeted it. Somebody tweeted it, and it was really nice. But
she already sounds really fun to play, but it's kind of like, I know we've brought this up before in the past, but like, again, when you're very, very new, right? And a lot of times it's on Neath. That's why a lot of people diamond Neath first. When it finally clicks, the whole backflip into spear arrow combo, and you're like, oh my god, I can do the thing. You know what I mean? I just love that in kits where it's like, oh my god, this is it. This is the combo. Love it.
Yeah. So.
All right.
I've played her in jungle practice, but she looks extremely fun, and I think she's going to be able to flex in jungle as well.
Good jungle hunter.
Like kind of like what happened to Danzo when Danzo was released.
I think Danzo was just super strong. That's why he was able to do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also you could full on ride the rocket into people and then just 100 to 0 them if you built full power. So
yeah. So anything else besides Ishtar? What's the title they gave her too? By the way, real quickly, I'm curious.
Well, no, we gotta save that for you. Can't know.
Isn't it like
Goddess of Love and War?
Nice.
Yeah. That's a little quiz I'll pop up on the host every now and then. I'll pull up Smite Game, look at the different gods, and say, oh, who is hero of the Trojan War? And you're like, oh, that's pretty easy. That's so-and-so. But then you've got, like, who is the slayer of enemies?
On her.
Don't even know her. Set you up for that. But, like, what is that?
That's one of the coolest fucking titles in the game, by the way. The Slayer of Enemies. I love that one.
I'll flip it around and say, like, oh, what's Chernobog's title? And I think that one stumped Riggs and Nev when I asked it.
I don't know Chernobog's title.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Is
it something of Nightmares?
Living Nightmares is ult, I think. I think it's something of Darkness, maybe?
Lord of Darkness.
I was close. I got the darkness part right.
You got the darkness, but so yeah, that's just a fun little
Slavic lore. That's where I was like super, super lost.
Yeah. So I'll spring it on him every now and then.
Fro, you're asking other big updates in 9.8 besides Ishtar?
Yeah.
And we already talked about T5 Hades because that was like the second big thing.
Oh, love it.
There's a certain skin that's coming out next patch.
All right.
What? So imagine this. Okay, here's my idea.
This was not planned or scheduled at all. This a mere coincidence. It was like a month ago, 2 weeks ago, or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, hey, let's come on, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, busy this weekend, whatever. All right, go on.
So, okay, you have Hunbats, right? Hear me out. You guys following me? Hunbats?
Hunbats.
Now give him a baguette to wield as a weapon and put a chef outfit on him.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Bun hats. You swap the B and the H.
Bun hats.
Hunbats.
Yup, and that is in the next patch. And that is my magnum opus in the Smite community. I'll never top that.
We'll write it down.
Do you know the lore?
I don't know the full lore. I just know that you switch the B and the H and you have bun hats.
Oh.
But I imagine this is what you have been championing for a while, because we have a couple hosts. Big Rick, former host, championed for Athena Cleave Auto. That was one thing he was really pushing for. I think Riggs right now is pushing for Bologna 2 to be knockup immune. I can't think of what else.
I hope Bologna's 2 is not knockup immune. Oh my god.
Yeah, bro.
I don't think you understand. Like, Riggs is memeing by. I mean, he's not memeing. He does want.
He's not
immune.
Yeah.
Right? And Rick did a little championing by every single Olympian meeting for like a year and a half, saying Athena Cleave, right?
Yep.
Now you're out of the loop, admittedly. Alex has been tweeting for 332 days straight, every single day,
once a day,
some sort of variation of bun hats.
They finally did it. Took 332 days, and Revert Persephone is about to get a lot worse.
Revert Persephone. I'm so.
Oh, are you asking like
what part revert? Because I see a lot of people like revert Persephone, but it's like, yo, but how about not fully?
The main thing people want back, I think, is the 2. But I thought the 1, like the 2, I get is I understand is 100% are like debatable. I think the ult, when she could kill people after she was dead, was complete bullshit. So I'm glad that's gone.
Yeah.
And then they changed the 1, which I think it like there's kind of an argument for changing it back, but like it feels a lot better to use in my opinion.
I think the 1's fine how it is now.
Yeah, the main thing is you can block it, whereas previously you couldn't.
Right.
Like if you like, let's say you're like level 4 or 5, your support went over to mid, you could have him like stand in front of the wave and just block the first one. So, but you couldn't do that previously because like splashed off the first hit. Yeah, when people say revert, I don't know particularly what they mean. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that people want the old passive back. And people say she doesn't have a passive now. Yeah, my thing is that's really frustrating is when people say she doesn't have a passive when they're conveniently forgetting that every time you back, you're getting like an extra 100 gold from your passive. Like that is her passive. Like the passive is the extra gold you gain from when you back. And that is still like objectively a good passive. Like any form of gold gained is a good passive. Like Danza passive, you get extra gold. That's really good. Gilgamesh, Gilgamesh is it's essentially free gold. You're going to be selling it. Yeah, 80% of the time, 90% of the time, you're going to be selling it.
No. If you get crit on Gilgamesh, you have to finish the item out.
True. Or if you're a Chad and you just build whatever the passive gives you, or like whatever it is into it. Yeah. But yeah, any type of free gold passive is just good off the rip. So when people say revert Persephone,
I will say that your perspective's probably a little skewed as a Conquest main, someone who plays a lot more Conquest. And I know you do play the other game modes, but
Conquest and at a 3000 MMR level.
Right.
Jeez,
just because Conquest is Conquest is the the slowest gold spooling game mode there is, right? So anything that gets you gold is objectively even better in that one.
Right.
But it's still free gold, right?
Yeah,
like, it does still matter, and it is still very helpful. And you when you die, are able to go set yourself up for, hopefully come back to a better lane if you're in Conquest or Joust or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? You can set yourself up while you're dead, right? No other person when they're dead has the capability of even remotely trying to make their next go at it better. Like that's still a passive, right?
Yeah, and the passive does get worse based on how much gold you get. Like it's pretty much not like it's useless in arena. Like I'll flat out say, like in arena you're getting 11 gold per second. Like that 100 gold every time. And it's not even 100 gold every time you back because you back a lot more frequently. But like
then
even the
other half of her passives better in arena though. It's objectively better. Because you're almost clustered in. You know where you're going to be almost more certainly.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. I think it's like one of those things in theory, it's decent, but then when you practice it, it's like, just put me in the item store. But, I mean, yeah, you're right, but it's super, and also people compare it to the previous one, and it's so underwhelming. Like, I think, like, I'm open to making her like a walking ward when you're dead, because right now you can't see teammates, you can't see allies, you can only place plants, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't like that aspect.
Yeah, I'm open to the idea. I'm open to the idea where she's essentially a walking ward when you're dead, because that's kind of like a nice compromise. Like even if you don't entirely agree, it is a nice compromise. Like even if you don't entirely agree, I do think that'll appease like both sides. Like she's not completely useless if you're dead, especially if you have communications. If you have communication, that would be insanely good.
Well, being a walking ward that they can't remove, like just literally being able to follow them after not even a team wipe. Let's say they just take, you were the only pick. All right, guys. Well, I'll still follow them around to see if they're going over to Fire Giant or
exactly, and that
King
promotes
or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that's like healthy because that promotes communication as well.
Promotes communication, and that's definitely more of a skill ceiling being raised than a skill floor being raised.
I
completely agree.
It's something that it will promote communication, but will also still be beneficial with the complete lack of, right? Because
my camera just went out of focus.
I see that.
Can I leave the call? Can I leave the call and come back?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay, 1 second.
Yep.
That time stamps back. Yep, he's back.
He's back.
Yep. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I forgot what the fuck I was saying.
We were talking about Mobile Ward, Persephone passive.
Yep.
Persephone passive. Yeah, but I still
team communication, promote and
oh yeah, because you don't have to even say a single fucking thing to your ally for them to be able to look at their map and the enemy be revealed, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, especially if you have the pings enabled.
The walls, right? Well, it wouldn't be pinged. Enemies don't get pinged when they go into your allies' field of vision, but they would still be revealed on the map, and you'd still get the shadows.
I guess it would depend if it's treated. Your vision's treated as a ward vision, or if it's treated as just character vision.
I'm almost 100% guaranteed it'd be character vision, because then they'd have to go in and do some real tricky coding for mobile ward. I'm sure
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, they already have.
They have Bracer where the
that's I was just thinking Bracer. Yeah, but I mean, I know jack shit about coding. I took like 3 coding classes in college, and that was it. So there probably would have to be some stuff there, but the concept is already in Smite with the mobile Bracer ward.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. It's a lot different if it's like a mobile ward versus just being able to see. But at the same time, like you could still convey some information if it's like a mobile ward. Like, yeah, obviously your teammates can look at the mini map, see where they're going, but let's say they use a relic or something, like accidentally pop a relic, place a ward down, you'd be able to see that you couldn't see just by looking at the mini map. So there is
what I'm saying, like it's that's good, but like even if you have the complete absence of communication, it is still usable by your ally. So it'd be really good for that too. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay. Anyone be able to benefit from it, like even without you using the communication, but it would promote, the better communication, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Completely agree.
That ain't a bad idea. I really like that.
Yeah, look at us coming up with solutions to problems that people didn't know existed.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, it's just mainly people are comparing it to the previous passive when that's not super valid in my opinion, but people's feelings are so.
Real quickly on the flick thing too, on the Persephone one, that's what it is, whether you can flick the one.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, you're
I
not
think,
instance locked to throwing the ability
I
at a
think
specific angle.
right. I think the flicking part is consistent with a lot of abilities in Smite. So
Yep.
they should kind of keep that. Like we went over this with Uller season 5, I think. Maybe it was season 4 when they changed his axe to do the same thing. It's a consistency thing, and it generally does feel better, and that was kind of the consensus to everyone too. Whether or not you can be able to body block it, though, there's argument for that. There could be arguments for that. But as far as, like I said, the flicking while casting, definitely they should keep it being able to be flicked. And then the 2, I'm torn on the 2 because I'm always like, why the fuck does the 2 do damage nowadays? But you kind of need it to, honestly, because you can't put as many.
Her abilities hit so hard though. Like I don't know if like scaling on the rest of it needs to be considered. Because I don't know if or how much they adjusted the scaling on her one. Because her one hit a truck because she only had the one as a damaging ability, like a proper damaging ability. The rest of the damage was through her flowers, right? In the buds. Because the leap hasn't changed. And the 2, so you had to have the one hit like a truck. Her one in her ult. I'm curious to look at the scaling on those now. But
the ones were also a very frustrating part of her. So I understand them not wanting it to be nothing but that. You know what I mean? Because they do get very annoying and very frustrating really quickly to play against. Well, I guess now they do. They did used to have the one where you could juke them. That's right. Where you could go like up and to the left or whatever to juke around them when they go to bite you. But those ones charged right at you and they didn't. Well, okay. So here again, we're in a bit where you could argue what aspect we're wanting to change. Like they did so many changes to her where it's like to just say a blanket statement of revert her. It's like, well,
well,
there's a lot of objectively better changes and some things you could say that are probably objectively worse.
Well, yeah, but that's like a literal strategy used for some things. It's just like having something that's more attention. Not what's the word I'm looking for? More like eye catching, sort of, but like, yeah, I guess more eye catching. Not going to go too far into this. Just going to give an example. Like defund the police was another example where like you see that and you're like, okay, like whoa, let's chill out. But then you could read into it and it's not that. So like revert purse, the people don't really elaborate on revert purse. Again, I was just using the last one as an example.
Yeah.
Revert purse is something like I literally don't know what people want. Do they want like all of it to be reverted, like you said? Do they want all this other ones to be reverted? And people don't really go into specifics. So that's like my frustration. Because especially when I was an Olympian, I literally got messages every other day about reverting Persephone. And like they just wouldn't say what they wanted reverted. And then in my opinion, if you want the entire thing reverted, that's just like completely off the table.
Right.
But maybe like one or two things here and there, that's okay. We're getting places. You know?
Yeah, it's crazy how if you just actually elaborate on why you think that, we can actually figure out, actual solutions about stuff and what's causing problems. Yeah. But when you just blanket, my opinion. Okay, well, thanks.
I'm sure you're very knowledgeable about things like that. Olympian meetings come up. Olympian meetings come up. Nerf Osiris. Okay, how?
How?
Buff Stone of Gaia. Okay, how? So
I'd have to say probably the only one that was a little crazy when I was Olympian was the Achilles auto. There was just a couple people that, because they remember there's a little bit where they reduced the attack range of Achilles. The people I would get a few people that revert Achilles.
Wait, they didn't reduce
that one. Yeah, they did.
I don't think they reduced.
He had an extended attack range for a little bit, or when they released him, he was doing pretty well. So part of one of his nerfs was to reduce his auto attack range for, I don't know, it's like 4, 5, 6 months, something like that. And then they changed it back, and that's one where I got a lot of people were like. Not a lot. There was like 2 or 3 that were like, hey, revert Achilles. But that was the only change, so I knew exactly what they meant. But it's like, if there had been more done, it's like, well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of other general, like, nerf this god. Why? Nerf what? Like,
Right.
you can't just tell me to nerf somebody and me to understand, like, why.
Yeah.
Although some things are obvious.
Yeah, some things are obvious, like I'm trying, what's an example at the top of my head? I can't think of an example at the top of my head, but I get what you mean. But yeah, when people just say like nerf X, buff Y, and it's like very general, it's like there's like literally hundreds of different ways you could go about this. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good. It's always one of those ones you get put on the spot. You can never think of a good example.
yeah,
Like,
I know. I've been thinking the same thing. It's like shit.
like a nerf Cuckoo. Cuckoo's going too strong. We'll say that Book of Thoth came into meta and all that. Right now, Cuckoo's too strong. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just nerf Cuckoo. Well, it's like,
How though?
yeah, it's pretty obvious if Book of Thoth came into meta, and that's when Cuckoo took off. It's probably his passive interaction. Right.
Yeah.
So, and then that's what they did last time when they had to nerf Cuckoos. They nerfed his passive because Book came into meta along with Book of the Dead, right? And it just made him really safe, hard to kill, doing lots of fucking damage.
Was that one Cuckoo was like completely dominant for like months?
Yeah. Well, just because you got everything you wanted from, like, you built the books. Right, you had Book of the Dead, Soul Reaver, and Book of Thoth. Yep. So you had crazy power just from those items alone, right? Because they all got good power, except Book of the Dead's got okay power. But the okay power was immediately canceled out by your Cuckoo passive that was giving you like basically a whole nother good item worth of power. So like, yeah, fuck that. And then you could just turn around and
fuck that.
You could just build whatever you want after that, really, honestly. But I think it was, I don't remember what was actually meta at that time. Besides, I just remember the books, honestly, because that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be an obvious. That'd be an example of an obvious one.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you got over 110 gods in the game, and trying to make sure that you don't leave too many behind, but you want new gods to release strong because it's a new god and we put all these resources into it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude,
you want it to be successful. Hard. Oh, absolutely.
Being a dev must be hard. Not only making the correct decision, but also when you do, you know you're going to have hundreds of people screaming at you.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't entirely your decision. Like when I guess I'm still a little bit tilted about this, but like people were criticizing the balance team when Bun Hats was released, and I'm like, or when they announced the Bun Hats, and I'm like, how is that relevant? Like even for things you had no control over, people are just screaming at you. Like what does the balance team have to do with Bun Hats?
Yeah,
and like you said, like and again, we all probably, they haven't said this, but it's very easy to like logically deduce it. It's most likely not one person making the final call.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's probably like a team of 6 to actually, I have no idea how many people, but the point is there's a team of people, so it's not even like one person.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And let's also not forget, you brought this up earlier. People don't like it because they kind of feel like they're being attacked, but your opinion might not be right. So as you're screaming nerf this god,
oh my god,
they might not need nerfed. So sorry, bud.
One of my favorite stories to tell is when somebody DM'd me and was like, this was when I was an Olympian. He was like, hey man, Kumbhakarna hasn't been in the meta for a long time. His 3, instead of mesmerizing people, it should stun people. And he was dead serious. And I'm like, okay, let's slow down. And then I had to explain why that would break him. And then he was like, "No, dude, it'll balance him. He'll be good." I'm like, "You're right. He will be good. He'll be extremely
real good."
Right. A 3-second stun. What's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
And we could even look at it logically and say that we nerf it down to a 1 second at max rank stun, right? We'll just make it real shit. He doesn't need a stun. The man, it's already packed with CC.
Yeah. It's just things like that.
The Mez complements his characterization and his kit better. You want the 3-second mez because if you've got an assassin on you and your passive popped, you hit the mez and you can get up.
Yeah, and it just like makes sense. Like the point is he's like trying to put you to sleep.
Right.
Yeah, he's trying to put you to sleep. So obviously, like if you're sleeping and something hits you, you're probably gonna wake up. So it just makes sense lore wise as well. So and then the other one, which apparently is not even like super unpopular, is making Hades ult cripple, and I hate that idea, but I guess that's not super unpopular. But
synergize it with your team, like Cupid ult cripples.
Well, the one guy that the first time I got DM'd that multiple times. The first guy said, "Yeah, I keep dashing in on people and ulting, and then they keep jumping out of it, and it's really frustrating." And I'm like, "Why are you going in when you know their kit is up?
Save your dash, get blink."
Boy,
yeah, exactly.
Cancel your ult and dash after them.
I didn't hear him say that he used his sphere or his what's the other one? If fears are fucking, I'm drawing a blank on it. Silence before he ulted either. Right there's a whole ass second you could have got.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like and it's like you said about the constructive criticism thing. So like as an Olympian, like I would get those suggestions, and like I could have just been like, no, this is bad, but people aren't going to respond to that well. So like I'll get the most ridiculous suggestions, and I need to like try to have a conversation. Okay, sometimes people will just send me like troll messages. I'll just ignore them. Like obviously they're trolling, like try to get a reaction, but like things like that, like the Kumba stun, like. Okay, how do I explain to this guy like how broken that would be without like telling him that it's a bad idea? Like directly saying or like making him feel like he's being attacked. So
I always felt by starting it off by saying I can let them know, but you know what I mean. Let them know like I'll voice your concern, but
I can't guarantee anything will be done about it.
Well, then you followed up with the counter arguments of maybe why we shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or attach but there's no guarantee anything will happen, right?
Yep.
Depends how much you want to actually debate the people, or not debate, discuss. I was never looking to debate. So is that all the notable thing from the patch notes as we've got off
item changes, anti-heal adjustments with time for items that didn't get hit the first time around, and abilities with anti-heal, I believe, right?
Well, I don't know about abilities, but that change is just summarized to where if an item gives anti-heal debuff, it's just always 5 seconds.
I think it was abilities like Bacchus Belch, Salmon.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because it was on
Medusa,
Cucullin, Bacchus, and there was one other.
Yeah.
Changa. I think so.
Just consistent,
pretty much
5 seconds.
Consistent 5 seconds. Maybe I don't know how long Ankh is, but abilities and items are like all 5 seconds, just so it's.
I think Ankh might be longer because it is a relic.
Yeah,
I think Ankh is the exception.
Dumbing
down the game, but I think consistency is great.
Oh, absolutely!
I love consistency.
Yeah. Well, it's like less things that you have to worry about to manage, right?
Yeah.
Well, but also I think it works better with the global anti-heal that they implemented.
Well, and also just like if you can get a feel for it, right?
Yeah.
If you can just get a feel for anything, like it's good, and consistency helps.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think if that's all we got for patch notes, we are getting a little bit on the longer end of this.
I
just mentioned my whole Discord. Oh no, you're good. We don't like to get past 2 hours. We don't want to put that burden on our guests. Plus, we need to stretch our legs.
That's fair.
Yep. Do you want to do some thank yous for us?
I will do some thank yous. We throw thank yous out for Sadon's getting us those baller ass thumbnails. Love your work, buddy. Keep it up. We want to thank Raging Cajun for those artwork commissions that we have had done. Tip your artist, everybody. And we would like to thank our patrons for helping us keep the show running and keeping us up to date on equipment, etc., etc. Your names are Aereo Asbestos, Weatherman Keith, Jade Flagon, Baseball Griff, Bombi Danny, Caveman Neo, Coffin Monkey, CDR Let's, Gilly, Snorlax, Weatherman Adios, Remembers, K Brojo, Freak, Stoff, Backlash, Sadon, Dr. Godfucker, Lantern, Reese, Warlord Yo, Bats Kid, Echo Dunk, Doc, Necros, Otter Joe, Riggs, Drakon, Glenwiggle, Granite Boys, Camel House, Void vs. Void, Embright, Scion, Gemini, Batman 7839, Sandman, Aquasoft, Kilowatt Man, I'm a Hater, Mr. Man 77, Colorado, and the Big Red. Thank you all.
God damn,
Much
nailed
love.
it, Depp. Nailed it.
Smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Impressive.
Mm-hmm. You know,
Can I say a thank you?
Yes, you can.
You may.
Thank you for inviting me, Fro. This was a lot of fun. I
Oh,
enjoyed
thanks. Well,
the
thanks
game,
for
and I
that.
enjoyed talking about Smite. So
Yeah,
It's
thanks
definitely
for
a
coming
blast.
on.
It's always like iffy having guests on because like some guests like why they are like cool people and like all that they're just like I don't know if it's shy or introverted or not talkative and it kind of makes it a bit rough sometimes because
Yep.
you know it's all about talking. But
yeah, that's fair.
no, definitely good guest. Glad to have you on. It was good to actually
Thank you so
converse.
much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to plug? Twitter, YouTube? If you can remember the ats and handles off the top of your head.
Yeah, well, I know you guys said you'll put it in the description, so I'll send you those links. But just off the rip, Twitter, Biackeye Smite, Twitch is the Biackeye, and YouTube is also Biackeye Smite. So I try to make the I's consistent. The second letter in I have that be consistent. So
Speaking
What, bro?
of the Twitter or your Twitch being the Biackeye.
yeah,
Snortalini going
unfortunate.
to raid you the other day with like 60 people and send it to.
And you rated.
Yep, you rated
Yep.
Biackeye, not the Biackeye, which
Yep.
I have also done as well.
Oh, really?
No.
That's funny. That's funny.
It's funny. I was
It
in
happens,
that raid,
it
and as soon
happens.
as he did that, I'm like, yeah, and we're like, hold up, what the fuck channel is this? Like, oh no,
Yeah.
I know what happened.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's a good time because I was planning on going to the grocery store. I want to make bacon wrapped pork chops tonight, so
Hell yeah.
that sounds delicious.
I'm gonna get that. We're gonna get some asparagus and broccoli going and some rice.
All right. Well,
Be a good time.
now I'm getting hungry. How about we get out of here, fellas?
Yeah, I gotta go
I'll
to the
see
store as
y'all
well.
in Smite Game.
Take care.
Bye.
Bro has stopped
my
audio.
recording.
All right, stop.
And goodbye, YouTube.